Hello and welcome to your final session of the SHRM module. Here, we're looking at everything we've learned about SHRM. Your learning outcome for this lesson is to recap your understanding about SHRM. SHRM in a nutshell. SHRM is HRM with a strategic viewpoint. SHRM, which spells out as Strategic Human Resource Management, is the process of aligning the business strategy with the company's human resource practices in order to attain the strategic goals of an organization. In SHRM, the workforce of the company is managed proactively as opposed to HRM, which is more of a reactive nature. SHRM is all about how an organization's talent is today influenced by a lot of factors, both from the macro and micro environments. Human resource management is strategically aligned today to business objectives and takes on a more proactive, long term, and strategic role. What is SHRM? We covered a lot of literature in our sessions, and one of the key definitions that stood out was Guests and Schulers. They said that SHRM is largely concerned with the integration of HRM into the business strategy and the adaptation of HRM at all levels of the organization. This sentence is very important as it talks of how HRM is vertically and horizontally integrated, something we will touch later in this session. SHRM versus HRM. We also discuss the difference between these two, and the best way to check the difference is remembering what Wright and McMahon said. They said that SHRM calls for vertically aligning HR decisions with the strategy of the firm and entails the horizontal coordination of the variety of HRM practices available. Here, with this definition, we are reminded that while HRM was more of an isolated function, SHRM is more integrated in multiple layers and levels of the organization. We also touched on the many ways to look at SHRM and how no strategy works for two organizations. According to authors Dellery and Doty, organizations with greater congruence or harmony between their HR strategies and their business strategies enjoy superior performance. Hard and soft factors of SHRM are also very important aspects. Of course, having distinguished these two approaches, many organizations would practice a mix of them with more emphasis on one over the other. We also discussed about SHRM frameworks, perhaps one of the most important bits of theory, and the most famous are the Michigan and Harvard frameworks, which you would have already used in your assignments. As shown in the picture, the Michigan framework is where you can clearly see the external forces and how they influence the business, more specifically, how they influence the mission, vision, structure, and strategy, and of course, the HR function of a business. If you remember, the Michigan framework is also known as the hard model of HRM, where employers treat employees as a means of achieving organizational goals. The Harvard framework, as you can see in this picture, takes on a more holistic approach when it comes to the design of HRM policies. Here, various stakeholders ranging from customers, employees, lobby groups, and the government and shareholders, and even the general public are considered and their views are listened to. This model also keeps track of situational factors and later adds them to the equation. And if you remember, the Harvard model, which is also called the soft model of HRM, is all about treating employees as valuable assets of the company.